Kiring pögelo nidong gyada ngapchunga jik chilu nidong ni shutsapshi dawa gube tseba ni saten geden yonzo ge nga da jigden shide debyon chenbo kamsum chögi gebo pögi lana mebe uti jino khonsa gyamgön chenbo chone mangzö lamsang sözel gadin gyangde milu tukju rapshi kowe tuchengi shungde zego unzu shuguyin tengdi zego kunjön zowur Estonia tözo pödön gyabgyor tsogbe tsogzo da Tözogi Chinje Ledön Tsojungi Tsongmi Kushab Yuku Kahl Rate Cho Pegyo. Tana Shin Shenyang Estonia Tözogi Chiso Ledön Tsojungi Tsongmi Jamku Carmen Yoler Tang. Estonia Tözogi Chinje Ledön Tsojungi Tsongmi Jam Esther Arus La. Estonia Tözo Pödön Gyabgyor Tsobe Tibettv Kushab Royce Rider La So Pegyo. Today, September 9, 2024, we are gathered here today for the official ceremony marking the 64th year of having received the gift of democracy from His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. On the occasion of the 64th Tibetan Democracy Day, we have the kind presence of Honorable Member of Parliament Yuku Kahl, Tibet Support Group's chair in Estonian Parliament, who is also a member of Foreign Affairs Committee of Estonian Parliament as our chief guest for the occasion. We have Honorable Member of Parliament Carmen Yoler, member of Social Affairs Committee of Estonian Parliament. Honorable Member of Parliament Esther Arus, a member of Foreign Affairs Committee of Estonian Parliament. We have Royce Rider, the coordinator for Tibet Support Group in Estonian Parliament. Zerunzu gi thongma changma kushing tho penden sikyong chone pe ge khap chembe gedar khaying su tingzu nanga pe gi dega chobe ngare da che pe ge khap chembe gelu da kya gi gelu bugyu. We will begin with singing the Tibetan national anthem and Indian national anthem as Honorable Sikyong hoists the Tibetan national flag. Tuchena, thank you. Tene pyoge doga chobane mangzö sarshe bulam shugu da chabjik soja desi degbu shugu. The artist of Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts will now present the Tibetan Democracy Song. A ceremonial tea and rice will be served. Tuchena. Tene Penten Sikyong Chone, Kashak Gisungshe Langyu, I request Honorable Sikyong to deliver the statement of Kashak.
Zenju Pame Mangzo Lamsu Unye de Milo Tuju Shibukobe to Jen Sundi Gadun Tendeki Yimodir Kashak Nzego Di Deng Denzombe Estonia Tozo Tumi Kuzop Sojung Sumbe Kundo Nambadang Zezo Dang Leje Lesur Namba Sega Mangzo Deshin Yucho Sosur Shube Shije Bunda Yongdang Pödang Pömi Dendun Tabzo La Ningne Shaza Gabjo Nanken Yong La Tudungi 참지 주시오. 다른 안주 망수 뒤진 탱 주지를 10에 디톨이야. 아니 최도 군도는 패배기 에스토니아 저저 팀이 교전 갑조 초배기 초소 아니 유코 라당 Quran talo chinda shibe nal pebari Quran da ani Estonia nalo langa zo pöden gyabjo chogbe ki chogso roy kunyi ni talo chinda shibe le yang chozo tumi ka chik den shu che daram salar pebari en tande yangya chinda gubali ya tandanga zo mangzu tujen dan tab dyun che ani kundun pebari kunyi ni laryang de pebadila tuche shuya dan dana shingi kunyi ni lenge le ya ani Estonia tozo tumigi chizo dedundan rebegi tozo tumi Mrs. Carmen Yoler Kran tani teng thangbo de damsala pegi yore dagana shincheni ani tozo tumi Miss Esther Karusi Kran chinde ki ledun sojungi sojunalya chale nang shibri en konam solia misegi tani yangya pebadila ani ning tabane tushi shuya da en samlo somji ki cha yago dabnara na shuya 신월 공수장군 정부초당 공기 폐비제 녀켄 전주 표민남 랑유 샬라도 쇼웨 경엘당 코리우 사버 내징웨 까뇽라 냐마슌버 실지동급 정갑중하고 다와시베 세 니슈니 갸가르 마수리 샵소 코네 둔다 직 마송콩 베덴 덴다 셋업당 표미 지조 대련의 미베 전주 표슝 선주 장바 마세 실지동급 죽줄로 탱럽 망주 람수다 튠베 지들 현조 선주 나왔네 림버싱 망소기 컴뮤단 뚜 곰답 첨부 시고네 다버 딕주 딩이 잠링 디 전주 지소 셴도 통가싱 권싱 군기 미베르웨베 척주 야게 중요하다 전주 표민남네 망주 람룩 지거를 롱수 주신베 카요라요기 둠데 디다니 진올 콘스장군 정부 초기 땡네 샴도 꾸데 너지제베 진두 코난레 중월 아주 뒤다도 까디 제전 슈거버시 로제말 콘스장군 정부 초 7루달 공장 급주 패배 고등기 따군투 공기 제쿠르 실레 당보 로아미 상주 공백골 딜르꾸이 충가르기 가샤게 땀시에도 슈심바따르 달람 뒤젠 제고 들 제쿠르 니바테 슐루 튠디기 korla 제바 쫑림 럭두수 전수 슈길라 konsi장군 정부초 생안에 슐루 민다와 인양 셈두발라 잠바단 제와 수바 촉시 팀송와서 상마 지규리 인답 슐루카 튠디 제베 시자여 제당 양자 겨름체 까나야 나로네 점링기 뜨르비여베 슈규 창매 잠진 냠낸 저거바 직송 순구여바당 슐루 쪼차 창매 랍자 쪼 세워매바 셰바디 지규르도 순구여 세워매바니 잠제인 냠낸기 개개 콩주인 대인년보 쇠베 냠낸당 수식이 너바체양 텔라 큰지 미제바 대다 지규리 미 캄다 뭐바 민다와라 따줍장 민다와 고바인 셰당 양가 정분링기 리수마체베 출루카 창마 톡düğün 팀장기 토네 펜주인기 내주 셰도 차비나 튠지 용투바인 셰 송신 출루당 출루바당 출루기 제당바 남기 소수 따줍당 초가 차글랭 강인 셀레메버 냠랭 슈어당 투종수 로아 민남 지규르기 두셰 송데 출루 셴당 최대 매켄 꾼라 구지자유 개젠도 내송 제신유 대양 진홍 건설장군 중부처기 질지동급자 납중 어둘러 또바 양엘레 대네 롱언이동 납게 코르베 두덴도 칩규르급 야가르 팍베 유도 잠링기 출루 첨복할은 레와 토마르 중요이징 야가르니 힌두당 식 게오바당 낭바체 출루카가 중공이버 마세 지우 출루당 이슈 출루장 야가르도 타르겹 중요이징 잠링기 카제 민보르 망슈이기 계급 숨바테이라 나웨 따시기 조로스트렌 출루랑 야가르도 김시 이버시 녜유 건설장군 중부처 다당 숨라 중유링 라와 망주 팍베 유들 최게 양해면에 다대팔 출루 리메 참두 냠내기 랑레 참마냠바 요바 원전투 식대 타데베 출루 투몽네 닝지단 잠제 처음에 봐서 로미 투몽기 린탕 술 렘바시 룰렌 심바남 튠지 제거바단 제투베 예시 중유 로규기 차네 야와 군대 나림 페모체 리수마체베 추규카기 왕로맹아남 센셰 나와 시신 건설장군 정부 초기 강 리메 라마 주라 닐하잠 때난기 벽유 낭den기 슝루 지당 왕로 치숨소 년규 맹아기 저도 규르고 건설초기 생이 게두 니당 숭붐 르무체 세와 따르당 실지동국제 죽주 레솜롤 슈거 따람살러 리메 추규카기 최소 두공 난고 추대 다대팔 교육이 최소 탱 춥시 공소 낭왈 속탱 준이 삼기 초건도 무수 집줄기 끝뒤수술 출루 리메기 게네골 랑도르 깔롭 녜젠투 림젠투 세대 젠주도 교육이 추규 정부남 튠디기 리우 사르바식 되유 건설장군 정부 초기 시리랑게 라친 반대 구루라트나초 실로지동급자 납중어 둘러 야가도 제대 총화당 지동급자 두주레 딘러 타일랜드 치규난급 빨리 추규 진캔 라친 스모덱 프라 상가라자당 타일랜드 낭베 최소기 우티카 제체 나와네 숭 베트남기 라친 틱나트 한당 캄보디아 라친 프라마하 고산난다 초기 쳔베 빨리 추규 진캔 헨제 제메 림버 제데수 추규 펜주와르 롱아 야타 투메링 양게 제메 왕기 콜로당 록도 칭예지 여바 남 세대 담지 오주 치기수 규유 규르징 공서초기 람도요 실론이동이 성이네 숭 빨리당 산스크리트 계지 겐두바 제레 레시 빼고 추대 펜준 두팀당 착수 균өн체 전주 표민 densa타장당 스리랑카 타일랜드 베트남 소기 겐두바 파르수 동리기 레시 곤주기 차드라나 심바 요라 실론이동이 사솜롤 도지된도 니 시린 계지 낭베 겐두베 랭데 탱당보 공소 나와르 빨리 추규 진겐 야가르당 타일랜드 버마 캄보디아 라오스 스리랑카 방글라데시 인도네시아 소당 산스크리트 추규 진펜 벼당 룩 바유 베트남 야나 태웨 일본 코리아 러시아 소부체 소네 겐둠바 니동하 소슈기 두팀당 유럽 일집에 낭베 랭겐고르 돌랭나웨 운제 제고르 건수초 체백기 랑도 깔롭제유 진홍 건설장군 주무처 야당 외메 로럽 든주베 고도도 유럽당 민족도 장어를 심규 짱반에 다벌 계급 죽줄 하삼 시기낭 탱 숨겨 마심 잠식 초백 낭콩 예수 대사 베티칸당 워싱턴기 개용 초관 제모 워싱턴 내셔널 캐테드럴당 런던기 웨스민스터 아베당 뉴욕 댄시체베 세인트 존 더 디바인 캐테드럴 소당 예수당 주 카지제 투몽기 내제 예루살렘당 대송 힌두 쿰부메라 딜리 카젤 하강 자모 머시소 출루 소술 하강당 네 자체 종다 종대 쿠이기 하강 망보시나 곰부초기 샵제 리몰 코징 리스마체베 출루카기 우지 작제 망다직 제제나유 대신도 출루 펜주 최면당 튠디기 총도 망보를 펩슈 나와 빼나 실지동국제 계속해줄러 이탈리 내신 아시시루 예수 최변 법 존 폴기 고디나웨 잠린 시대 멜럼 당 실지동국제 고주 고솜론의 송 잠린 출루 조조기 총도 림바당 야가르나 공소체베 계지랑 신기 출루 총도 림버 펩슈 나와 마세 실로니동 tuklo 아리 샌프란시스코 통계도 공소체베 카제 졸랭 총도 닝지 세제 닝기 돈좀 당 실로니동 게로 야가르도 공소체베 지구링로 개낭단 계지 잠린 해줘 당 실로니동 굴로 잠린기 출로 최면단 튠데 총도 실로니동 출로 니온기 히로시마 잠린 시대 해줘 소소 펩슈기 출루 상만 튠디기 관에 로아미 상주 공배당 잠린 시대테 레케 뷰고베 셴구 림버 제여 마세 실로니동 굴로 코펜하겐 남시 규르도기 촉진땡 출루기 초대 소수 코리우 숭교블라 도난고베 뷰구 낭여라 실로니동 쭈앙알로 콘스kamgon 쳔부 쳔부초기 람드워 잠린기 낭베 우치 남기 탱 당보르 냠제 세다 페데 남시 규르돌 동넨 제고베 베구 낭싱 실로니돈 춥딘로 야가르투 출루 우티남 냠슈 체베 출루 편주 되면라 때네 잠링 시드당 참드윈 셰베 손두르 펩슈 나와당 실로니돈 추굴로 콘스쇼가 첸도도 유베 직된 군겹 갱쿠르 탭작하네 튕게 자르데 출루카기 쉔게 네고르단 되메 기 손두탱 쫑알 바 뱅로르도 공소 나요라 공수쇼가 남된다 yapjol 때네 대답이 손도 망다직 공소 나요 진원 공수장군 춤부 초기 인계도 빼대 야다게 삼배 콩 실지동급적 구죽 오들로 작점제베 샘상보 낭베 따수기 돈에 예슈 땡된의 제바 실지동급적 구죽 오게로 디기기 땡주 실로치동급제 구주고굴로 동로 사배체도 상주 실로니 동알로 두텐 직땡기 두직땡 세리다 낭되리베 냠제 실로니 동 출루남 된담기 붕에 초수 껴봐 점링기 출루남 냠제 영탑 실로니 동 죽지로 출루기 참례 대바 점링 용기 체도 상주 소 좀벨당 좀dem당 점링기 깨이 체가 망보나 법규르지 젬펠 야체르 중화당 대신 망소 숭시당 돌랭 전디 촉웹 소기 급두 소소를 출루 편주 최면당 참두기 권에 미 상주 공배당 잠링 시대 쿠류 숭겹소 로아치 데서 록데 펜로 난겔기 칼로블 따니 체케 미소 돌롱 체체르 중외카르 잠링기 상규르 귤람 깨다 체와 폐체외 규다 야체르 중대 롱어추라 도메링 직된들 투몽기 문지 직규르 토비유 공수쇼기 탱럽 셴 람루나 상주당 샘감 대당 직된 군접기 갱쿠 롭주 고개기 롭티 고개기 람드남 셴 대전도 캐베 조심바 빼나 게소기 롭소당 세리 릭슝 직주 유니스코기 릭슝 펜주 최면레시 당 잠린 출루 조조기 출루 편주 최면레시 시대 폰의 랭귀 타웨 출루 우주기 시대 죽준 토 제뉴 된답기 레차르 출루 남 시대 체도 shebe dikzu ki chulu penzu tume dan nyamde ki chego sem dan so ki shimju khang ki tseri dan nangchu ki doleng zamning shidil henzo ki shidil kube lengu kole sangju tepsa khang ki kole sangju kube ki lengu gyagari ki genyong shenyong shimju dan jongdaral henzo NCERT lobda chungjing ki gegen jongdaral le shiso geji dikzu dan shungkhong minbe chokwa chingye chigi ngui chiri ne konsikyamgon chungbu choki shesue nyamle laktar cheshin yo la ari Emory lobchen tang Wisconsin lobchen Stanford lobchen Virginia lobchen ho California lobchen California ngade shen henzo kongi lobda chungjing England ki Cambridge lobchen ki 달래라면 출루 편주 고도 때내 당 오닝기 그리피트 롭첸 당 저먼기 투빈겐 롭첸 홍콩기 소피아 롭첸 당 캐나다 맥길 롭첸 딜리출라 롭다 쳔무 줄라 람잠바 소기 롭첸 콘소아 주유 대신도 샘당 소기 때내 강당 원세 세리기 심주 상주기 전두르소 공수쇼기 공실의 체배 첼레 릭센 나망 야르게 당 캬베 로시마인 계급 망보낭 릭숑 나망 당 슐루 리메소기 시주 템베 제급 공수장군 친구 초기 슐루 펜주 퇴메기 공시라 시주 여징 대신도 냠제 개초지 초쟁기 퇴메당 폐계 이체도 릭숑 나망기 잠니 이모 셰베 저저당 냠제 개초기 도미 토단 hen조기 슐루 삼 대메 금쟁의 제대 시행을 미수받아 멤버 따와 만베 연제 세월 근론당 세월 제버절람 고고의 셰베 죄주 냠대게 조기 초정기 시대체도 출루당 릭숑 편주 죄매당 고시의 년시 냠내절 구대 제베 죄주 땜비 제바 대다도 공수초기 유린의 남대나외 출루 편주 죄매기 자된 망보 순유 이니야 야나 공전 슝게 출루 참든당 상주 답에 잠린 시디지 로미 투몽기 섬든라 얍지 초대 변낭 변미리 짬에 동에 시주 독주 챔비용왕 빼신바 로미 톱당 따십당 계지 녀양 초바소 라완쟁기 심주칸 카게 년도 뚜마르 튼신바 마세 유럽 튼조기 로미 톱당 구접 소중기 신다 죽배 년도당 아리 치실리공기 로미 톱당기 로고르년도 냠제 계속이 체계배 년도소 응아제수 테르된체요라 아메리게 팀즈베 한소 아반네 친데게베 체응아니 베도요고 조주 샤베나 아메리게 팀즈베 한소 기 아리 계시 지급 관계 콜레 낭예 팀시 이산에 변화 미리 짬에당 미줄레 대베 낭예 로미 톱당 대시 동외 내든 신체기 꼴 심주기 년도 된점급의 냉규 자주시 그도 야나 공전 시숑기 등상 중화미리 직둔 뒤죽기 도시 땡주 세베 시주대 롱당 베레 제세체 검답 솜나 때네 베미리 짬에 동외 처시당 믹세 숭대 첩시당 벤조 지소 출루 롭스 속의 흉제 제고 폐무체낭 시계체외 돈에 락다르 제심바 마세 회사 때문에 발숨도 종당 종델 근데 롭다체수 롭종당 섭지 담시 눈좀 덴두르소 제고 나초 규 문숨 제메도 베미리남 소소ngo 돌대 중앙 미리임베 두시 템부 주글루 쟁게 제신유 베길로 규 촉시에당 미리기 ngo 낙습 미지게당 쟁규르 때와 미베 시주 대이 차시수 베미리당 베규낭den기 캐주된베 죽준당 소고 리무소 식도르당 베주 사야 찍라 미세 베유링루기 때자 롭제낭 치게르 고담기 갸이기당 따주 로베 제신베 더 대다게 벤주칸도 여베 출루당 로유 리그네소 베미리당 제유기 베뎁 차장 실두당 롭제 기고르도 투미삼보다당 나덴 케바소 로규 미네 퍼리당 kunyenam lobjugi tongnamdo mingomar cheba soki nezu gyumar gyunche mebar tuenshin yu deshindo chinda tukbenang amdo ngaba khudu gendumba da tsuma gyada tuma gombane tsewangki chirbudang chinda tukbenang Tirab chugube nang shengdun zebe aso gomba shume de torwa chinda dumbe nang raja khangjo shiri nobu lobning goyaba so yangawe nesu didaki yana khungden sishungni mangzo da rawa 장대 잔염 첨두 제 로미 치소 폐계기 건답래 도대 미세 배유 링루기 독습체외 문화 뒤럽낭 시시계기 요바 세부차요라 야숑기 소수 연주 대리 칠러 매공양 제기매 신의 dümb체 종인이 아리신진 바이든 초기 초진 세단나외 벽에 전용 세버 구대기 팀이 동안 야나 매만 치둔 계급기 다대 시주 대 최시된 백원에 표미수 소수 최당 릭숑 게 로유 미식계당당 코류제 송겹제배 누덥라 고는 시신 여제 야숑기 연주 대된 제와 마세 팀이 대낭 벽이 로유당 벽에 전용이 내밥 전용 셋업소 어리 슝기 시주제 세유베 걸 딜르 그 중간기 담시에도 롭삼 슈심바 따르니 대신도 캐나다의 조선에 진짜 주변랑 지명기 조조직 샤베랑 범명만 단계 급라 랑타 랑슈기 톱단 유베 시 누슈 강야 매베 권에 소수 벤조당 지소 릭숑당 출루 시주 랑왕기 권에 된됨 제초걸 그도바 마세 야나 슝기 범미솔 최시된베 권에 릭숑 제세 시주 락다르 제신바 세드나요 범미스 소수 미리기 오 제냐르당 릭숑 야르게기 된드니 장년당 제왕기 응주 강기장 고고 고는 제답 맹의 인신 야나 공전 시숑기 랑주 대리 요상당 삼조기 탑시 강요 땡규니 라완 롱버 네크 전주 표면남기 도르드메베 랭게 조 최슈데 임베 가샤기 데르동랭기 탑주당 렉처르카 림버 빼규 참에 누반냐봉요베 벽의 수신유 뒤젠 디 가든을 러와단 첩직 다동양 다동 간저 망저 남루디 투장 야르게 동규 동자 강망한 유베 내가 문진 제고바당 학벌도 진염 장된 강len셰베 팀지남 샤라 상화식 소균이 카자고두 차유베 데토 요네 랑티 겐고르 투쇼메바 고주 개제이 다들 진홍 권수장부 총부처하기 구제티 닌데 의터 세신 토기 시공 타다 객매 흔기 룹데 표된 된단 뉴드세 면도 수교인 가샤네 인지날이야 가샤기 담시에 dingen도 슈초와치 가잔디 게주날 탑구고요베 손장 투주 전부 침배이네 소소 나로 치신 슈야이 다니 on today's Democracy Day celebration we have chief guests and guests from the Estonian Parliament. Yuku has been here this April along with Roy, who is also the president of the Tibet support group in Estonia. But this time you also have Carmen and Esther. We also have the president of the Tibet support group from Finland area. Thank you very much for your presence. And within 4 months, you decided to come here 2 times. And last night, we also discussed about coming next year. So this itself is a manifestation of a very strong support from the Estonian Parliament. People who have endured the same suffering that we are enduring right now under China. And they have suffered the same under Soviet Union. And that is why their affinity for the Tibetan cause is much more than many other countries and leaders around the world. So thank you very much for coming here again. and showing your support. And I was telling Yuku this morning that every time we have visitors here, it does send a strong message to the people inside Tibet and also to the Chinese government that there is support from the international community and there are people who are willing to listen to us. So thank you again. Today, we celebrate the 64th anniversary of the Tibetan Democracy Day. On this joyous occasion, the Kashak extends his warm greeting to the delegation of the Estonian Parliamentary Support Group for Tibet, led by its chairman, Honorable Mr. Yuku Kahr, member of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Estonian Parliament, Honorable Mrs. Carmen Yoler, member of Social Affairs Committee, and the Honorable Ms. Esther Karusi, member of Foreign Affairs Committee, and Mr. Roy Strider, who kindly coordinated the visit, and present and former officials of the Central Tibetan Administration, as well as fellow Tibetans living in and outside Tibet. The Kashak extends our warm greeting to all across the world who support the just cause of Tibet and the people of Tibet. Under the visionary leadership and indomitable determination of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the Tibetan people remained resilient, unfazed by the overwhelming hardship of losing their homeland to invaders and the multifarious challenges in a new environment. Within a week of His Holiness' arrival in Mussoorie, in India on 20th April 1959, His Holiness re-established the Tibetan government in exile, aimed at resolving the issue of Tibet and ensuring the welfare and overall development of the Tibetan community in exile. Moreover, in conformity with the modern democratic system, His Holiness the Dalai Lama established the Legislative Assembly in 1960 to ensure democratic representation through the electoral system. Since then, His Holiness has initiated 4 historical steps towards the democratization process, thus developing the Tibetan polity into an efficient and robust system which is unprecedented in the exile community and a model for the entire world. Also, the fact that the Tibetans in exile are freely enjoying the fruits of democracy resulted solely from the blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's unwavering guidance and leadership, for which we always remain eternally grateful. The Kashak, in our statement on the occasion of His Holiness' birthday this year, highlighted His Holiness' first of the 4 principal commitments aimed at promoting human values. This serves as a curtain raiser to celebrate His Holiness' 90th birthday next year. On this occasion, we would like to briefly recall His Holiness the Dalai Lama's second commitment of promoting religious harmony. His Holiness the Dalai Lama emphasizes that different religious traditions share common principles such as love, compassion, patience, contentment, and observing moral precepts in taming the mind, which provides a basis for harmony between religions, and that all philosophical religious traditions in the world underscore the need to practice love and compassion. The main teachings of the major religions is nonviolence. Nonviolence is love and compassion. The obstacle to practicing love and compassion is anger. The antidote is practicing patience and not holding animosity against those who harm us. These principles are common across religions. Different philosophical views are necessary due to differences in human temperaments and inclinations. Furthermore, His Holiness emphasizes that if all the world's religions understand each other's perspectives through sincere and disciplined dialogue, harmony can be achieved. His Holiness strongly emphasizes that while maintaining one's own philosophical views and rituals, religious practitioners and followers should develop a sense of oneness of humanity and respect other religions as well as those who don't believe in religion. During His Holiness the Dalai Lama's visit to the sacred land of India on the 2500th anniversary of Lord Buddha's enlightenment in 1956, His Holiness observed that India is not only where Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, and Buddhism originated, it is also one of the world's most Muslim-populated nation, where Judaism and Christianity spread and Zoroastrianism found a second refuge. During his stay of over 3 months in India, His Holiness witnessed the tradition of harmonious coexistence of different religions, which has remained vibrant in this free and democratic nation since the reign of Emperor Ashoka. These observations convinced His Holiness the Dalai Lama that different religions, which uphold universal human values such as compassion, love, and nonviolence, should and can work together in harmony. In conformity with the successive Dalai Lamas receiving empowerments, transmissions, and instructions from various traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, His Holiness the 40th Dalai Lama has received initiations, instructions, and oral transmission from many great masters of different traditions of Tibetan Buddhism. As reflected in the records of the teachings received, the textual tradition of Tibetan Buddhism in general and the initiations, instructions, and oral transmissions have become the repository of great oral lineage of pith instructions. Presiding over 12 of the 14 Tibetan religious conferences held since 1963, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has emphasized on the importance of non-sectarianism, opening a new chapter of harmony among major schools of Tibetan Buddhism in exile. In his efforts to promote religious harmony among the world's religions, His Holiness the Dalai Lama met with Sri Lanka's spiritual leader Bande Gunaratna in 1956. Thereafter, in 1967, His Holiness met with Venerable Smodek Phra Sangaraja, the Supreme Patriarch of Thailand. His Holiness has held regular meetings and interactions with the foremost proponents of Pali tradition, such as Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, a religious leader of Vietnam, Venerable Phra Maha Ghosananda, the Supreme Patriarch of Cambodian Buddhism. These interactions have helped promote understanding and harmony within Buddhist traditions. Furthermore, under the guidance of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in an effort to foster dialogues on understanding monastic rules and developing an understanding of the different cultures and traditions, a 5-year Pali and Sanskrit International Bhikkhu Exchange Program was launched in 2022. Likewise, the first International Sangha Forum held in Bodh Gaya in 2023 brought together over 2,000 monks following the Pali traditions of Southeast and South Asian countries of India, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and those of the Sanskrit tradition from Bhutan, Nepal, Vietnam, China, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, Russia, Mongolia, including Tibet, and other parts of the world. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in his key address at the opening ceremony of the forum, emphasized the importance of fostering dialogue on monastic rules and the role of Buddhism in the 21st century. Starting with his international visits to Europe and North America from 1970s, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has emphasized universal responsibility. His Holiness has visited over 60 countries nearly 300 times, including visits to the Vatican, the Washington National Cathedral, Westminster Abbey at London, St. John the Divine Cathedral in New York, as well as Jerusalem, a holy site for Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, the Hindu Kumbh Mela, the Jama Masjid in Delhi, and many other religious sites and temples in cities and towns. During these visits, His Holiness has left an indelible imprint of his universal message and met with numerous renowned leaders of different faiths. Similarly, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has also participated in many interfaith dialogue and harmony conferences, such as the World Day of Prayer for Peace in the sacred land of Assisi, Italy, organized by His Holiness Pope John Paul II in 1986. The Parliament of the World Religions in 1993. Various international religious conferences in India, the Interfaith Dialogue and Need for Religious Tolerance in San Francisco in 2006, the Terrorism National and International World Conference in India in 2008, the World's Religions Dialogue and Symphony Conference in 2009, and the World Peace Summit in Hiroshima, Japan in 2010. At these conferences, His Holiness has consistently called for harmony among the religious faiths to promote human values and contribute to world peace. Furthermore, His Holiness the Dalai Lama urged religious organizations to pay attention to environmental protection at the 2009 United Nations Climate Change Conference in Copenhagen. In 2015, under His Holiness' guidance, Buddhist leaders worldwide issued their first joint statement calling for action on climate change. In 2017, His Holiness attended the World Peace and Harmony through Interfaith Dialogue conference with various religious leaders in India. Likewise, in 2019, the 15th Youth Interfaith Pilgrimage and Dialogue conference was held in Bangalore, organized by the Foundation for Universal Responsibility of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Many similar meetings have been held under the guidance and support of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Besides that, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has authored over 100 books in English, which have been widely read and translated in many major world languages, which includes Good Heart, a Buddhist perspective on the teaching of Jesus, 1996, The Art of Happiness, 1998, Ethics for the New Millennium, 1999, The Universe in a Single Atom, The Convergence of Science and Spirituality, 2005, Towards a True Kinship of Faiths, How the World's Religions Can Come Together, 2010, and Beyond Religion, Ethics for a Whole World, 2011. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in his public talks, discussions, and interviews, has emphasized the importance of promotion of human values, world peace, and environmental protection through interfaith dialogue and harmony. These have been viewed, listened to, and disseminated widely by most major global media organizations. His Holiness the Dalai Lama's visionary guidance on the importance of the need for ethics, mental well-being, and universal responsibility in the modern education system is being incorporated into the educational curriculum and implemented by many governmental and non-governmental organizations around the world. Some of these major organizations include UNESCO's Intercultural Dialogue Project, the Parliament of the World's Religions Interfaith Dialogue Initiatives, the Peacemakers in Action Network's effort to leverage religious leaders for peace building, Religions for Peace, Interfaith Dialogue and Collaboration activities, the Mind and Life Institute's dialogue between science and Buddhism, the World Peace Council's peace promotion campaigns, global ethics promotion initiatives of the Global Ethics Foundation, and the primary and middle school teacher training program under National Council of Educational Research and Training of India. Many academic institutions, such as Emory University, University of Wisconsin, Madison, Stanford University, University of Virginia, University of Southern California, U.S. primary and secondary schools under the California Department of Education, the Dalai Lama Center for Interfaith Understanding at the University of Cambridge, UK, Griffith University, Australia, University of Tübingen, Germany, Sophia University, Japan, McGill University, Canada, and the University of Delhi have also incorporated His Holiness' visions in their curriculum. The Mind and Life Institute, neuroscience research and discussion of ethics evolved from the principal commitments of His Holiness the Dalai Lama are continuously progressing and expanding is yet another contribution to the humankind. His Holiness the Dalai Lama's concept of interfaith dialogue finds reflections in the United Nations General Assembly's resolution on the World Day for Cultural Diversity, for Dialogue and Development, and on promotion of interreligious and intercultural dialogue, understanding and cooperation for peace, and the United Nations Human Rights Council's resolution on combating intolerance, negative stereotyping, stigmatization, discrimination, incitement to violence, and violence against persons based on religion or belief. These resolutions reflect many of the principles of interfaith dialogue that His Holiness has long espoused and advocated. On the contrary, the government of People's Republic of China is implementing hardline policies aimed at eradicating the distinct Tibetan identity in Tibet. This is a blatant violation of common aspirations of humanity for religious harmony, promotion of ethics and world peace, which has been consistently reported by independent research organizations such as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International, as well as by the delegation of the EU's European External Action Service on their visit to Tibetan areas in June this year. The US State Department's annual Human Rights Report and various UN experts' report. On 5th August this year, the American Bar Association passed a resolution on Tibet, stating the American Bar Association urges the United States Department of State, Offices of Global Criminal Justice to investigate and publish updated findings on the question of genocide, crimes against humanity, and other human rights violations in Tibet. Additionally, the PRC government is forcefully implementing an assimilationist policy called Forging a Strong Sense of Community for the Chinese Nation, through a three-pronged process termed as to facilitate ethnic exchanges, communication, and integration, aimed at eradicating the Tibetan people's identity through indoctrination programs and Sinicization campaigns in the religious, political, and social programs. As part of this policy to eradicate anything Tibetan, the Chinese authorities are distorting Tibetan history, erasing Tibetan national identity, and forcibly changing the way of life, destroying architectural buildings, designs, and the artwork of Tibetan characteristics. Over 1 million Tibetan children are forced into state-run colonial boarding schools to learn Chinese language and ideology without access to their families. Books related to Tibetan nationality, religion, and histories are being forcibly removed from the libraries of these schools. And pictures and statues of historical figures such as Tumis Sambodha, who created the Tibetan script, and other ancient and modern scholars in the Tibetan campuses are being wiped out. Such alarming reports continue to emerge from Tibet. In June this year, hundreds of Tibetan young monks were forcibly evicted from Kirti Monastery in Ngaba area of Amdo to force them into draconian colonial-style boarding schools. Moreover, the 19th century Achok Monastery was completely razed to the ground on date. On the 12th July, the Ragyak Hangri Novo Educational Institute which accommodates over 1,000 Tibetan students, was forcibly shut down, causing great distress to the school's teachers and students. These appalling incidents clearly shows that the PRC government, in contrary to their propaganda of the proclaimed progressive steps of human society towards democracy, freedom, justice, equality, and harmony, is regressing or digressing into the dark age of brutal colonialism. In support of the aspirations of the Tibetan people, US President Joe Biden signed the promoting a resolution to this Tibet-China Dispute Act on 12th July this year. The act highlights that the current policies of the People's Republic of China are systematically suppressing the ability of Tibetans to preserve their religion, culture, language, history, way of life, and environment. The Kashak mentioned in its statement on His Holiness the Dalai Lama's 89th birthday that the act recognizes the US government's position on historical status of Tibet, that the Sino-Tibet dispute is unresolved, and that it is the official policy of the US government to promote a negotiated solution to the dispute through dialogue. The Kashak would also want to acknowledge the unanimous resolution passed by the Canadian Parliament on 10th June this year. This resolution asserts that the Tibetan people and their country have the right to self-determination and are empowered to freely choose their economic, social, cultural, and religious policies without any interference from any external power. The resolution also condemned the Chinese government's systematic policy implementation of cultural assimilation against Tibetans. The aspiration of the Tibetan people to preserve our national identity and to develop our own culture cannot be crushed by any form of brute force. More so, it is the important responsibility of Tibetans living in free countries to make every effort so that the Chinese government corrects and ends its misguided and repressive policies in Tibet. Hence, the Kashak urges every Tibetan to make collective efforts in unity. While we celebrate the Tibetan Democracy Day, we must also acknowledge that there is still considerable scope for improving our democratic system. In particular, it is the need of the hour to strengthen completion and effectiveness of the laws and regulations that ensure fairness and justice for all. In conclusion, we pray that the light of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's vision and meritorious accomplishments continue to shine across the world, and may all His Holiness' wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. May the truth of Tibet prevail. Thank you very much.
I request Honorable Speaker to deliver the statement of Tibetan Parliament in exile.
Draw Lado JB Gansho Tonda Manjiba Consul Church Jabo Pemi Yon Lana Mebioti Shino Concession Chamochola Gosun Kisha Wendo Pilvitone Tirin Pemi Mozo Unya de Melo Shibo Dojo Regin Kurvitichin Zegito Kundenzo Estonia Jozo Peden Joshua Sobi Soto Kushop Yugur Chodan, Estonia Dozo Timi, Janko Esther Carr, Estonia Dozo Timi, Janko Kamal Jolly, Estonia Peden Joshua Sobin Dediba Kushop, Rose Starter Chodan, and Dano Yenge, Pemi Dinzogi, Zezo number, Sigi Leger number, Mimodan, 在于老朱number用了，别没现在连做给差不多，个人呢，他们的参的这些的来选因。真就别没么做5年的，没老师傅做热经考虑的7%，送子学位假期年末的呢，别就70年这，我去拉那满级吧，咱们现在这边全部，现在刚才香港在用本球。जाकर ला चेंजर तो श्योसर खेमा था पेमे इंट्रापु जे देतर गोंजा छेगे जे पेमे मोजो सोतर नंदे लबचें जे लामते सोमी वो रों तो ड्रान्यम टोंदे येतर जोने पेमे छपसी जे रोंगे मोजो शेजे मोजो ने वेंदे हिबे पेमे मोशिंदी लेंजो कोप तंबो शिलो कितों को जा ट्रुजो दावा गोबे से निन लेखुर तंबिर हिनी ने चेंजर पेमी मोजो लमजो उन्ये बातां शिलो चितों को जद्दन जो तेंगाले दावा गुबी चेनिन युंडर मोजी तिदन सुंजी हुंगो छुबा ने तापर सुंजी हुमेइन पे सा माह्यो कोने कोजा शोंगन चमो चोके पेमी छपसी जे थोंगे येजे तेंगे पेजे छपसी जे लामलु ला जुजे नोंजी गोंगे येनाओ पेनो जायों के चंदर शेबे नेदां जे चेंबे गोंगे जेगे शातरा शोमेट चेंजो तो पेंजरो शोमा था पे योंगे लेदे छाजी योंथप तां मेमो के कोचोब चेंबे मोजी लामसरो तो शेजी थोदा केनां ये चेंजो पे में छपसी जे लामलु मोजो जोजरो मेमो ला मोजी कोतो तों देबब देजों मेरो कोसा चोके ट्रापु जी गेसें तोमर जीते तुजी चेंबे गेशें योंसों के लामदे कालो सोमाचे पर नांदे चेंजो पे में मोजो लामजोर जोंबों जोनों जेबान देताबों ने जमली की लोजिनो हाजों थों कंबो ही चाये सोमे चेंसर तारा तेंगे चारा मोजी लामलु ला लों शेजर शोंये नाओ पेमी मोजी फेरिने गंबो कों नीचे लबजेंजे गोंये दों जेंटी कोनर तेने शोंहिन चेंजो पेमी मोजी लामलु ने सिदेंजी होका मेजिन सिंजिन लामलु दां ट्रेजो लामलु निंगी लेचा देंबे लामसोल मिसल तेंगे चाये तें शिलो चितों को जा टुजु रेसों लोर माओं पेज चाटी योंचप साटा शोनों जबातां शिलो चितों को जा गुजु कोजी लोर पे मेमो शिदी कोप चुची पे चेंजर पे में चाटिन तेला फोबर शिनो को जा शोंगन चंबों चोके चोंचें चालवा ने जों शिंदी लेंजो देइन टिमजो लेंजो जे ngो शेटोबा शों येला शिलो चितों को जा गुजु कोनी लोर चेंजर पे में छिदिन टिमही खों सांजु तां शिलो नियतों जीलोर कालें ठेबा मेमो ने ठेकरो वेंडें ह्यूजिन लॉन्सो तेनो माजे शिलो नियतों चुजीलोर शिनो कोसा शोंगन चंबो चोके पेमी ट्रापु गागे तोमर जीते छपसी दों जेशों के थोंगे नम मोचो जी वेंडें शेपिंग गोठी नमला सोतर नवा यिन चेंजो पेमी चाटिन चो चुरबे चेंजो पेमी नेतों दों चंबे पेमी डिंजु जिन टिमटी खा ट्रेचो ने तेंबे शेटोबा शों येला 대다라 경연지 셔제종 저초네 논도 노미인 베미 모신디 렌조제 템베 노인 틴지카 이터르 존데 베미 딘주지 셰곤 타다 틴루지 온 주르베 모진 롤루도 셰긴바 마제 공사 초게 탕케 투지 람데 좀비오 좀리노 쇼저와 옌 솔라오 메베 딘주지 롱인 뎀베 모지 차루 차란 총아히 나제 라렌 따르긴예 전조노 배미 최동 리용 현행 반저로 시조진 내당 전조 배미 남지 모지 캐온 롱수 시지 거고 정보 토반 대단에 공사 성근 전부 초기 까지 냐딜라 때네 쇼아 임베 지지 뎀바히 차여 예나오 롱리 전조 배미 남지 모지 람루 롱수 시진 겐쿠르 뎀베 토 하종 년종 제베 되전들 배미 용조 단지 도자 찌들지 배제 뎀빈 탑제당 베지 최당 게이 리용제 다르제 용탑라 베두 농게바 가르치르 통 베낭게 롱리 펜단 남제 모지 람로라 롱조 셰조 따효 자나 마르비 용게 도투 체윈 최종게 세지오 냐와 미도 페바타비 까도 뇽도 뇽임베 내당 니레게 원설도 저게 여 자나 용게 베 미리당 베지 게이 짬에 조체 पेट्रो नागें साया तील हाचम तेंजा लोब्रिनो क्योंने जाजुर जिसे जेतां Peji Chedo Region Jana Kendo Jurche, Peji Chedo Region ke Teneka, Zame Zoe Suji Lomo Gone Latara Shagin Ye. Nature Shilo Neton Yagitagin, Dawa Dimbe Tunion, Pengolo, Raja, Konjon, Hiri, Norbil, Homli, La Zanga Tande, Turtle Go Jagge Shunye, Flowlin taking, Shilo Titon Goja Gojo Kogi Lone, Dana Yonge Temba Mobor Chonjin, Hiba Jit, Sandu Sheba Hindu, Milo Sumju Tamji Rin, Homli Tender, Homa Niton Ajala, Homtara Shin Yabatan, Munti, Homir Shagimba, Janta Mobo Yemi Yin. Petru Hede Mena Social Shasa, Genyer Lobda Te, Muzun, Tom Yage Shumar, Homling Galopton, Lemin Namla, Zeji Melombi, Dongar Shuyamba Meche, Peshino Nije Pemitan, Peji Regionla, Gayen Nonken, Shijala Miri Toyon, Yesho Lobam Teme Shunye. Taking Dili, Dangaba Tamne, Jana Yonke, Naba Kitty Gendang, Tadon Hamo Kitty Gen Niche, Lochun Dragon, Janta Mobo, Sane, Jayungi, Lobder, Tange, Gembi, None, Tempi Tongima Maze, Lochun Dragon, Pamaton, Yende, or Muzu, Sinterin, Giki, Shagin Batang, Jayungi, Page, Gendeka, Yonzoji, Trajinji, Neton, Tatu Chepi, Zimbu, Yendo, Jurji, Suji, Latra, Shagin Braten, Tenko Penno, Page, Cheto, Region, Miriton Cheba, Tame Zoe, Jayungi, Che, Dozu Chevi, Suji, Teda, Charton, Tomjo, Yontop, So, Zamli, Jashi, Chendo, Peden, Hugritan, Lengi, Como, Pergebi, Tila, Leye, Dili Shindang no Temen, Jacob, Judubi, Sinzindang, Sinzi, Yembe, Lekoro, Tombin, Zegoro, Yunde, Dengutara, Pemi, Dinduji, Kashi, Niji, Kotop, Sojo, Chechara, Noyaba, Mazet, Temen, Tezo, Kop, Judibi, Tezo, Penden, Joshua, Soba, Muzu, Undujin, Zego, Shombatang, Copter Temenji, Sidan Soba, Sumji, Tezo, Timi, Sunjo, Sojiki, Tonge, Senda Quay. Taking Nature Jaga, we young and Henry Tezo, the Tin, Pemi Moshindi, Lenzoji, Sozen, Native, Shidi, Jilenji, Koto, Sojon, Desinila, Chagweji, Jagar Jaza, Dillere, Dillin Dawajibe, Tengane, Gobara, Peden, Hugurji, Tendi, Jagar, Uyungi, Lenchen Nidan, Jagaranga Deka, Jobjedon, Sidan Soba, Cheka, Juji, so, Chentezo, Kon, Niji, Timi, Nigutajedan, taking Chopsiji, Utiso, Neye, Menaton, Yitu Hegidon, Lendon, Yancheji, Penoge, Tatin, Zada, Neton, Hugi, Noadan, Haberto, Jagar, Sidan Soba, Yanji, Tezo, Timi, Peden, Joshua Soba, Lasin, Jago, Shanhi, Jagar, Tezo, Peden, Joshua Sobe, Sozoro, Tezo, Omi, Timi, Kushop, Butter, Hari, Matap, Chodan, Sogendo, Tezo, Omi, Timi, Kushop, Tapi Gao, Cho, Nisu, Tankre, Notoba, Shonye, Penange, Tati, Neton, Zadadon, Drogi, Yamber 10, Jashin Chayone, Peden, Heto, Joshua Toche, Pemi Moshinti, number Yunde, Shopeji, Peden, Hukil, Lerin, Drogin Batara, Dili, Shinda Jepino, Australia, New Zealander, Peden, Hukil, Ledu, Shoya Batang, taking Ari Tronche, Chicago, no. Ari Jayon Moto Tene Kongi Kodi Hibi Jashi Utichin Sondu no Nyam Yudon Peden Huki Konle Shonye Jonjur Shenda Chubadon Chuchibi no Munti Europe Jako Kado Peden Hukil Lerin Digi Nature Ari Tozo Kon Nine Tenti Mome Joshua Toba Ari Tozo Peji Tenyo Serva Kundijin Tinila Dilin Da Dimbitsi Junini Ari Sinzin Chok Winson Tenda Kweji Tinyi Teni Ari Yundeji Siji Suchroye Tinyi Tei no Jana Yunge Pene Nanghamone Jana Ki Chahi Yintri Choki Shegimbate Lojiji Tone Demba Mimba Saten Sheyabaso Neden Karche Mobotseye Ari Yunge Pedendon Devi Siji Satendo Toni Konsal Kachi Tinyi Dine Shilo Nyeton Nili Peden Siji Tinyi Ki Tenzen Katila Sharche Noi Timcharhi Yimbatan Shilo Nidon Yehulu Peden Sujidon Jobjurjin T, Shilo Nidon Jobjelor Peno Pandro Tongin T, Soji Jesu Tembe Nai, Garjin T, Chayela, Tering Kokon Digi, Ari Tozo, Kon Niji, Timi Nambe, Ze, De Yola Tuji Chehujoin. Melo Junta Dul Lari, Tenjur Pemin Namdon, Page Chedon Region, Kei Sonshop, Dembe Topsi Jeji to Jobshurton, Lamden, Tinjur Nonken. Neil Jakar Yomo Niji, She Jacob Kagi, Yondo Mimon Tomara, 게리기 고급 늦진에 까진 체히 휴조인 타된 로와 양지 만디빈 자해 첨보 잠니 히디 대베 예제 베메 양지 라나메베 오티 신으로 공사 성근 첨본초 고제 협배 깔저 땡기 럽진 투지 공연은 현전 로바당 배된 된다 뉴도 살위 맨디 휴조제 베메 모신들 현조지 실로 예동얘기 짜기 나고비 체니라 투체나
두천왕 공소도쇼 Dine pyoge döga sokwane kongshe zilu sheba sikbu shugyu. I would like to invite the artists of Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts to present a song from Gongpo. Kuchena, DJ la Estonia Pödön Gavgör Sobe, Tibettv Kushab Roy Strider Chone Sungshe Nangyu. I would like to invite Roy Strider, coordinator for Tibet Support Group in Estonian Parliament, to deliver his speech.
Tashidelek, kusudebo. Högyallo! 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 I'm very glad to be here. I feel like at home. But at first I would like to pray for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Please join me. Let's pray for His Holiness' health. Gundun. Because His Holiness is the most important guy in here. And I do remember when I was a young boy, sitting under this tree here, and Gundun was coming, touching my head and saying, "Oh, you are very clever." Then I thought, okay, I have to be clever. Now I have had clever enough to bring here already second or third delegation from Estonian Parliament. So somehow I feel like I fulfilled His Holiness' wisdom, yeah? And we are Estonians, you know, we don't like long speeches. But we will try our best today, yes? So we will take a little bit more time. This is Tibetan Democracy Day. Democracy means freedom. Freedom means that even such an ordinary sheep herder like me is able to be here and speak out. Freedom means we have equal rights. Freedom means everybody is important. Every single person is important. Freedom means that if I see somebody, like today I saw one guy, one Rangzen boy, yes? I recognized from the movie. He's called Tenzin Zundu, I guess, yes? Freedom means, democracy means that Tenzin Zundu can come here and make a speech.
Samalya Mangju Tujen la Samdi Tantestile Yarum Jokuzi Tilo Tembasho.
So this is real freedom, this is real democracy. Now I hope you understood what means freedom, democracy. Estonia and Tibet, we share similar history. We know what means to be occupied by bigger brother, yes? But we are clear example that freedom does exist and we never give up. So, free Tibet, that's it. Högjalo!
Thank you. DJ la Estonia Trezo to me, Cham Esther Arus Chone Sungshenangyu. I request Honorable Member of Parliament Esther Arus to deliver her speech.
Tashidelek. Okay, I hope you hear me now. Tashidelek. Yes, and I am very honored to be invited here by President and ministers and all of you. Thank you for the invitation. For some days I have been here. I have seen the very kind nation of Tibet. I have seen the wisdom and the truthfulness you are taking care of each other. And I have seen vibrant culture, and I really have met really good hospitality. Thank you for everything. And what I have learned is that we actually come from a very, very similar background. When I and also my colleagues, most of them, when we were born, we were actually born into communist regime. Estonia is a very small country, far, far away in north, yet we share very common history. During this regime, we witnessed violation of several human rights. Our schools were made more and more Russian schools. We were taught Russian language and we were promoted to speak Russian more and more. Our churches were rebuilt and made into gyms where people had sports. And they did everything to eradicate our identity. And it actually changed the people. We were afraid. We were afraid to speak what we think. We became paranoid. We didn't trust each other. We became silent people. But yet we talked to each other. And the grandparents told stories to grandchildren. The mothers and fathers never forget where they had come from free Estonia. So since my childhood, I have heard stories of free Estonia, and that actually kept us being Estonian. And actually, when I was a little girl, my father told me about a country far, far away that was called Tibet, and of Dalai Lama, and the nation who kept their religion, their faith, and their identity despite of the regime. And finally, Estonian nation had the luck to have the freedom and independence again. And we gained it without any drop of blood. We actually sang ourselves to freedom. We gathered and we sang songs, our national songs we had learned since childhood. And what we learned was that we can have regime oppressing us. We can have a regime trying to take our identity. But I have seen here among your people the kindness towards each other and also the same wisdom to try to become independent nation without any drop of blood, to be non-violent. And this is actually what no one can take from you, your desire for being yourself and your wisdom. Thank you, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you, Honourable Member of Parliament. Tine Estonia Tözo Timicham Carmen Yoler Chonisungshenangyu. I would like to invite Honourable Member of Parliament Carmen Yoler to deliver her speech.
Thank you, thank you. Tashidelek. Hello, everyone. First, I would like to thank you for the very warm welcome. It is so easy to love your culture, your people, everything about Tibet. And my colleague Carmen already told you why we are actually so like-minded and why we really understand your nation, your people, and your sufferings. I am born in '92 in free Estonia. Estonia had gotten its independence, so I don't know how is it to live in under repressions. For example, I don't know how is it to live under repression, how is it to live when you can't say what you think, you don't have any freedom or any choice. I don't know how it is. But yeah, I haven't felt it myself, but I can still appreciate it, what we have today in Estonia, free Estonia. I have heard stories from my grandmother when they had to hide our Estonian flag. They had to hide their real thoughts, they have to hide their real integrity. And unfortunately, this is everyday life in Tibet right now. So what I can do, I ask myself, what can I do? Why I am here, and what can I do for your nation? I ask myself that. One thing I can do and we can do is stand by you, stand by your nation. And that's what we are doing. We are today here with you. We are celebrating Democracy Day with you, dear Tibetans. And but what more I can do? What more we can do? And I have thought about this, and one thing I will do is that I will talk about Tibet culture, I will talk about your sufferings, I will talk about everything, what I've heard yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I will talk about it with my colleagues from Estonia, I will talk about it with my colleagues from Europe, all over the world. And I think this is really important. I really think that people they don't know, and we cannot blame them because they just don't know. But this is our task to talk about it more and more and more, to spread awareness about the situation here. So from now on, it's my task and my colleagues' task to do that. Because we want to live in harmony, we want to live in love, we want to have compassion, and we want to live in a free world, in free Tibet. So I wish you all a strong mind, and let's just celebrate today, Democracy Day, with all together. Pökjalo! I hope I pronounce it right, but yeah. So let's try it again. Let's try it again all together. Pökjalo! Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And I hope to see you again, maybe next year, and more and more and more. So thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member of Parliament. Now I would like to Kunduzo Estonia Terzo Timi Kushab Yuku Kalre Chonisumshe Nangyu. Now I would like to invite Honourable Member of Parliament Yuku Kalre to deliver his speech.
Hello, my dear friends. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here again to hear my colleagues. So, maybe it was a bad joke, but, well, not at all. Really, not so much big words, but yes, because we know dirty deeds done dirt cheap, but light deeds done in the daylight. We are celebrating democracy, and I'd like to remind you, my dear friends, democracy, don't be so serious. Democracy can be fun. It is fun. It's much more fun than every dictatorship. Because really, no dictatorship, but dictatorship. Like China, like post-Soviet Union, like Russia, like Iran, like North Korea, dictatorship. Absolutely dictatorships. Democracy is much more fun if you can know how to use it. My dear friends, I want to remind to us and to you, we all must learn to use democracy. Democracy is a tool. It's a difficult tool. It's difficult to use it. Otherwise, you use it and you don't know how to use it, it kills you. And then again repeats dictatorship. We know it, democracy in so-called Western world or Western Europe or kind of that kind of, now we call it democratic world, is kind of quite new thing. Little bit more than a century, all in all, yeah. When small states got their freedom, it was during and little bit after the First World War, yeah, little bit more than a century. It's a tiny, tiny glance in a time. Even China had an opportunity for democracy, yes. In 1913, for example, even Russia had. Before communists came to power, yeah, and before dictatorship came. So, what is the weapon of democracy? What is the weapon we are gathering here? Roy was talking right, it's about freedom. It's about freedom to live peacefully with your neighbor, even you are not satisfied with everything. Maybe he's a smoker. Maybe he's not a smoker. Maybe he smells funny. But we tolerate each other. This is about democracy. We may have different understandings, but the basics should be the same. Freedom. Freedom to your neighbor. Freedom to yourself. And we know all that world is moving away from freedom direction right now. And, well, it's kind of worrying. For example, for that speech I just make for telling you that democracy is, well, it's fun. It can be fun if we are along together, everywhere, all together. I got already one love letter from China. It means China Foreign Affairs Ministry, ambassador. It meant that I'm an idiot and I don't know because Tibet, that kind of country doesn't exist because China freed Tibet peacefully. It's kind of the same crap I'm used from Russia, some Soviet time born person. I remember exactly the same lectures about Russia freeing Estonia. The same lecture, if some kind of other state frees someone else, it's always untrue. It's always untrue. What can you do? Every step to freedom begins from your heart. World can't free Tibet. World couldn't free Estonia. It must come from your heart. We can help and support, and that's why we are here. And I really hope that Estonia won't be in next years not the only parliamentary official delegation to support Tibet culture, language, and free Tibet, and to say it freely. And I really want to say, fuck one China policy, free Tibet. Thank you!
Thank you very much. That was our chief guest, Honorable Member of Parliament, Yuku Kahr. DJ la pende timshi bashin chone pyujung chaga shegen lobtu ni la chagir dang pangtho computer dana shin rigchen sosur cpu sunbe lobtu chang chukji la ganden photang ge singdu chagir nangyu. I request Honorable Tibetan Justice Commissioner to present laptops and certificates to 2 students who are this year's recipients of Excellence Award and certificates to 11 students who are recipients of Gande Photang Award in recognition of their academic accomplishment. Chilu nido nishuzapshi le pyujung chaga topge loma Gande tsiring gobalbur pyokim gyaja kubju konga tsa ni jungri dechen. Gande tsiring lagi kutsa penasha. Tine rinchen karma tsomo gobalbur pyokim jungri dechen gyaja kubju konga. Kamar rinchen tsomo lagi kutsa penasha ya perona. DJ la Gande Photang Singdu Chaga Shinke Chungri Dechen ne Gande Tsiring Gobalpur Pyokim Gyaja Kubju Konga Tsani Rinchen karma tsomula Gobalpur Pyokim Gyaja Kubju Konga Tashi yang tsomla Dadeng Pyokim Gyaja Kubju Kongi Tsa Tu kutsabiyona perona. Tene tsenri de tsene tenzi rangzhe la selagui pyo kim gyaja gupchu kopshi tsa ge. Tene tsenri de tsene tenzin gapel la selagui pyo kim gyaja gupchu kosum tsa tuk. Dice la zirik de tsene kunga chönzom la pelagubi pyo kim gyaja gupchu koji tsa ni. Ne tenzi dawala masuri pyo kim ne gyaja gupchu geju gegu tsa shi. Dine ngawan topden la masuri pyo kim ne geju gegu tsa shi. Ngawan topden la kutsa perona. Tene tenzi nodren la pelagubi pyo kim gyaja geju kyanga tsa shi. Tene tenzi dawa la pelagubi pyo kim gyaja geju kyanga tsa shi. Tuche na gongo tuche. Dice le ya pende sigyon cho ne u rangkon leje shablo nisanga yen korgen leje shila lekso chagen nangyu. I would like to invite Honorable Sikyong to present certificates of recognition to 4 staff who have completed 25 years of their service in CTA. Kona be lugu nyindre shuchoji. Tangbu de leje demgol hengang ki chungshun chenyam kamatine la. Kamatine la chirushik dong gubgyo gubju khobdun dawa chukji be che jigne chidi lekhung ge chöde degen thola zibar kosha na nidong chu dawa shibe che ni ne chungle nerim chenyam du nebar da lenge ranja nidong chupshi dawa gube che jigne churi lekhung ge chungle su nebe ge lenge kudi na nidong chupdun dawa ge be che jigne dilikusap thongkhang gi chungle su nebe ge lenge kudi nidong chupdun dawa ge be che churu ne chungshun nerim chenyam du nebar na nidong chugu dawa thangbe che nisa sum leje demgol hengang gi chungshun du nebe gi lenge kudi na de chale na de nangmu yi niba de la nangsi legong ge ledo chenyam tubden chudre la churchik dong gubge guju khobge dawa chungni be che guni thongma da ru ring chöde no ngowor nangsi sakhang thodam legong gi chirung da ngui nya chikjo ge ledo to gozel na ni chikdong gubge gubju khogu dawa chukbe che guni shunjung gi chenyam nerim tho leje ngomar kosha gi lenge ranja ni dong ni dawa ge be che chik nin nangsi sakhang dangye khang gi chebe lenge tho nangsi legong gi ngui nyer lenge du kosha zel ni dong gu dawa shibe che chik ni genjung chenyam nerim tho nebar kosha gi lenge ranja ni dong chupshi dawa chukji be che ni sabshi ni nangsi legong gi nelembe lenge tho gudi ni dong churu dawa dum be che ni sanyi ni lejung chenyam nerim tho nebar gi lenge ranja ni dong chupge dawa shibe che chugu ni nangsi legong gi nelembe lenge tho nangsi jinshi tsembe yiksa gi lenge chikjo lenge gudi na ni dong ni sa jik dawa sumbe che chik ni nangsi 진시 쳔베 레종도 창샤산의 군지 레콩 카주 제퇴베 랭게 꾸지 니동 니서직 다중이베 제줍든 닌 낭시 낭십 쳔베 레종도 능쿠 랭게 꾸지 니동 니서니 다시베 제중의 니 낭시 진시 쳔베 레종도 능쿠 꾸지 니동 니서니 다중이베 제족숨니 낭시 관련 당 중체 계종 당 낭시 진경 레든 토람데 슈구기 랭게 꾸지 니동 니서숨 다 게베 제줍게 니 레도 쳔냠 내림도 네버기 랭게 꾸샤 당 샵슈 줍다 주미이 Tene Tuden Legungi Yu Rangkong Leje, Dezen Genzin Chenyam Sunam Chudren La, Tongma Piminyam Pe Nerim To, Neber Zelwata, Nidong Chupshilu Dawa, Tube Tse Tu Ni Tuden Lekung Su Nebe Zebeto, Leje Dan Yamta Menjungi Dele Shu, Nidong Chupge Dawa Gebe Tse Jing Ni Degen Nerim To, Neber Nangbeto, Nelembe Lengen Da, Tadecha Tuden Legung Luyu Tsembe, Delegi Gengur Shumu Chege Tabar Milu Nishu Zange Ring Shamde Jubda Jumuyi. Tene Tuden Legungi Yu Rangkong Leja Yige, Sudarshan Kumar La, Chilshikdong Gubyo Gubju Kogu, Dawangabe, Tsechigni, Dashi, Benjo, Lashe, Sode, Leje, do Lenge Shuyabatan, Pumi Nyamteka, Dadina, Chesu, Ni, Doni, Dawachujibe, Tsechigni, Tuden Lekungi, Medo, Sola, Tado Chekin, Rankon Leje, La, Goshazel, Teje, Nidon Chushi Dawagebe, Tsechujine, Sung, Tabar, Leje, Igegi, Lenge Shuda, Shumuje, Milu Nishang, Shibu Koye, Leje, Demgolangan, Ki, Chungshun, Senyam, Kamatinella, Pebrona. Nancy Legungi, Ledo Senyam Tubden Children La. Tuden Legungi, Degen Senyam Sonam Children La. Today Legungi Leja Ige Sudarshan Kumar La. Tuche na, tuche. Dine penden tsogzo chone bumramba chedu chaga sheken midang churu la chager dan leksyo nangyu. I would like to invite Honorable Speaker to present awards to honor the 16 PhD scholars. Tangbudila bumramba tinzi tilela. Bumramba tinzi tilela gi bumrambe chezum gi joshine perovskite carbonaceous interface for photo-enhanced degradation of contaminants for emerging concerns in water and wastewater shebaredu. Nibadela bumramba tinzi powderla. Kongi bumrambe chezum gi joshini effectiveness of a mobile health application for preterm care on the growth and development of preterm infants. DJ la bumramba tinzin chuzin la. Kongi bumrambe chezum gi joshini a study of Tibetan vocational training centers in India. Jinju pimi lakshe jongdar tine khan la cheba shebaredu. DJ la bumramba tinzi tendar la. Kongi bumrambe chezum gi joshini assessment of anti-venomous properties of alpha-acrystalline derived peptides in honeybee venom-induced toxicity. DJ la bumramba thundrum namge la. Kongi bumrambe chezum gi joshini neuropharmacology and neuroprotective effects of herbal medicine. Tine Bumramba Ogen Chudubla, Kongi Bumrambe Chezumgi Joshini, Tibet's Winding Road, Modernity, Nationalism, and Unsettled Exile. Ogen Chudubla gi Kusapeyo Kongi Pala. Tine Bumramba Degi Chudunla, Kongi Bumrambe Chezumgi Joshini, Changing Dynamics of Indian Citizenship for Young Tibetans in India, an interpretative study Shebaretu. Tene Bumramba Laramba Geshe Rongbulo Sang Yentala. Kongi Bumrambe Chezumgi Joshine, Lungsem Tamula Dene Tabe, Ngazamgi Dala Cheba Shebaretu. Guba de la Bumramba Abal Hamula, Konki, the European Union, China, and the Tibet Question, 1992 to 2018, Shebe Jushi Tola Bumrambe Chezum Peltu. Chupa de la Bumramba Kamagatola, Kongi, design of an integrated machine learning and deep learning model for predictive analysis, Shebe Chushitola Bumrambe Chezum Pelnadu. DJ la Bumramba Tsewantobla. Kongi Chezumgi Joshini Rada Tungen Ta Pö Tinsi Nientang Jingi Miluchubdun Chiluchik Dongu Gasumju Subshine Chik Dongu Gangapchu Ngajik Tushor Chimbe Nedon la Cheba Shebaredu. Tene Bumramba Sunam Gansela Kongi Gawang Kunteng Rimjun Ta Manju Kongma Pargi Tewe Nebabgi Pogyur la Cheba Shebetola Chezum Pelnandu. Dichela Bumramba Lopsang Utubla Lopsang Utubla Kongi Shunglu Da Laglen Sungde Gi Mingshi Gone Chachik Dubzu la Cheba Shebe Joshi Tola Bumrambe Chezum Pelnandu. Tine Bumramba Kunchola Gi Jechongka Be Nyengal Shimju Shebe Joshi Tola Bumrambe Chezum Pelnandu. Tene Bumramba Tinsi Namgala Kongi Mahawamse Cheshir Sune Pögedu Chungwe Nangbe Narab Lugula Cheba Shebe Chushi Tola Bumrambe Chezum Pelnandu Tinsi Namgala. Tene Bumramba Lopsan Tunden la Kongi Pöki Jungwa Tan Pelrim Delwe Tajor Bomni Ugi Keje la Cheba Sheba Jushi Tola Bumrambe Chezum Pelnandu Lopsan Tunden la. Tuche Nangungo. Tene Tadara Estonia Chisi Lunchen Tang Estonia Chuzogi Tsogzu Shone Tushin Di Chedu Tinji Jornansha Di Tanda Estonia Chuzogi Tumi Yuku Kal Rate Lagi Chalo Nangre We just now have received a message from Estonia's foreign minister and the speaker of the parliament, and it will be read by Honorable Member of Parliament, Yuku Kahr.
My dear friends, that will not be a speech, but maybe quite important remark. As we all know, that still free world officially doesn't tell about that Tibet is occupied. But I have a kind of a message from our Estonian Minister of Foreign Affairs. He met with His Holiness Dalai Lama in 1991. Actually, His Holiness has been in Estonia 3 times, 1991, 2001, and 2011. And Margus Tsahkna told, "Ooh, Dalai Lama, I was so young and beautiful, and Dalai Lama is so clever. I bless him. Let all the Tibetans be good." So this is a message from Estonian Minister of Foreign Affairs, but it's really something, because I haven't heard that some kind of minister has some kind of officially said to Tibetans something. And from the Speaker of Parliament, who met representative of His Holiness in southern Estonia last summer, I was there. He hopes you to be free. He has told it officially in European media, and he said he couldn't come, but he continues of thinking of you. And the most important thing, talking about you with another European politicians, because it goes step by step. It's like a stairs. I'm proud that Estonia is maybe the first step. But thank you, but we'll meet one day in free Tibet!
Thank you very much. DJ La Yonglin Lopta ne Karma Tansum Sheba Sigushugu. Now the children of Yongling School will present a traditional dance.
라데소 시작다. 원 라데소다. 원 라데소다. 라데소. 1, 2, start. One start. 이제 양지 테스트 딱 봐도 그렇지. 양지 테스트 봐도.
Kuchena. Dijele Dashu Bukimne Nangma Chala Sheba Sibushigu. Next is a performance from a group of students from Lower Tibetan Children's Village. touché na, touché. Dine kangi bedon loktane dome sitting asyo shebasibishindu. The final performance for today will be presented by Kangi Mewen Tula Bedon School.
탑시 시딩아시 셰바 딩이 빌럼 슈규인 시딩아시 셰베 탑시 디니 치로 직동급장 앞주로 별라자 나마부 슝기 진지 제네 bü기네 당야 차위 값소 회종 하미 용기 권자 베밀란나메베 우티 진노 공사 겸고에 쳐보쳐라 서와 풀조소 따바따 강이 공단 주로레 마세야 롱이 찹시기 영화 차장 셰바텐 마소니가 대두승기 삼지다 땡대체도 표회 시시인배 생기네 gen시 용어슈
samdine pyogi mangzo unye de milu tukju rapshi ko we shungde tuchen sungzi shube zego gekeng ane tubangi. We have now come to the end of official ceremonies marking the 64th anniversary of Tibetan Democracy Day. Thank you all for your participation, making this event a successful one. Thank you.